Previously, our heroes had sought to enter the tower of the eldritch and powerful necromancer Gul Garak, whom one of their number, Baru the Beautiful, had served as an apprentice long years past. They had moved through the bewildering topiary maze which confused the senses outside and made their way into the tower, where they encountered a room full of webbed corpses, and wisely not wanting to confront whatever arachnid horror lurked inside, barricaded the door and proceeded up the stairs, where they encountered a mist-filled floor full of writhing people wrapped in pleasure, with a bearded Chamberlain emerging from the mist. He congratulated them on their progress and invited them to rest a while until the master could speak to them. As they all stood there, they all felt a strange compulsion to lose themselves in the pleasures that were on offer before them. Guntok, unable to resist, waded into the mist and was lost from sight. Zonzo the Atlantean attempted to try and rescue his friend, but also fell prey to the strange mental compulsion and was drawn down into the mist by an alluring feminine form. Wisely realizing that they needed to stop the source of whatever this magic was, Batu and Aeger continued up the stairs to what they believed to be their confrontation with the necromancer Gul Garak. As you walk into what appears for all intents and purposes to be the top floor of Gul Garak's tower, you can see, like I say, a variety of desks with paper, small vials on them. As you walk in, there's clouds of dust being kicked up by your footfalls on the stairs, Aeger and Baru. It appears that nothing up here has been disturbed for quite some time. Like I say, you look around the room, you can see what appears to be a number of desks, a couple of chairs. There's a large, sort of almost palatial looking bed pushed up against one of the walls. And as you peer over the railings, Aeger, because you're nearer to the interior, you can see what appears to be a skeleton lying on the ground next to the bed, as though it had fallen. The whole skeleton is covered in dust. The air is filled with motes of dust as you walk up the stairs. Like I say, it looks as though nothing has been disturbed here for quite some time.
Okay. If anything starts misting, let's go downstairs. I'll toss a skull up and we'll see what happens, but we don't want to get trapped.
No. John, the blue circle, is that here or is that a map artifact?
The blue circle is there. It appears as though something was once drawn on the ground in blue chalk, although it doesn't look as though it's been used for quite some time, like bits of it is scuffed out. Perhaps some form of summoning circle was drawn here once upon a time, but it's a long time ago. Lots of it's been scratched out, as you can see, like where furniture's been moved, and it's like scratched out bits of the chalk. Baru, you're not picking up any sort of obvious like signs of sort of like any magical influence here. You don't think there's anything like currently active, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I'm proceeding into the actual room. So I'm gonna go take a peek here.
Okay, not a problem. So as you're peeping at the desk, you can see lots of different papers on it. Most of them are fairly sort of dry academical papers discussing the various experiments that Gul Garak had been conducting. You see some further references to the creature, the sort of golem, the undead creature that Gul Garak had been constructing, that you'd found sort of notes about on the first floor, and you believe may possibly be in the basement. But again, all of these notes are sort of like crossed through as though they were sort of failed attempts. It looks as though Gul Garak at some point in time like filed, for want of a better term, most of his paperwork up here, but his filing system appears to comprise nothing more than just like stacks of paper on the desk. A lot of it's written in sort of cipher or in code to obviously prevent prying eyes from looking into it.
Don't you think we should kill the guy in the room underneath us?
I'm not sure it's a person at all, but yes.
And in fact, as they're saying that,
I would like Dave. Can you please roll me a d4?
A 3.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, so Batu, Aeger, you're having this discussion about, perhaps we should go and kill the Chamberlain on the floor below.
What about this circle? Should we avoid crossing it?
It doesn't matter anymore, and I point to the places where it's been broken, John. At least that was that's my takeaway.
Yeah, that's certainly the vibe you're getting here, that there might once have been some occult significance to that circle, but it's not been used for a very long time, and it's not currently imbued with any magic.
Yeah.
Just to be, certain, I'm gonna crawl over the bed and go over here to the chest.
Yeah, and I'll just stride stride across.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. You stride across to a desk, Batu, again, more of the same, more sort of academic paperwork. Aeger, you move over to the chest. You can see it has a large metal lock on it. The lock itself looks quite rusty.
Okay, gonna do the whole traps thing.
Go for
See
it.
if... Yeah. Success.
Okay, you don't think there's any traps on this. However, it will be quite difficult to pick the lock because it's extremely rusty.
Okay, can I just break it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you would need to make a test of strength for that.
I'm gonna, get my pry bar out and get leverage somewhere and fail.
Okay, you strain at the lock, but it appears to have almost rusted solid into like a single piece of metal, and it stubbornly refuses to yield to your attempts to break it out.
Nah, this is gonna take a little while. I'm gonna take out my thief's tools and get cutting with my saw.
So you put the mask down, and there's.
So I'm gonna remove the entire lock.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Are you using any of your thieves' abilities to do that, or are you just
I'm
busting
I don't know.
the chest?
I mean, we can roll the open lock if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, it takes a while, but eventually you basically unscrew the hinge that has got the lock on it, and you remove the entire locking mechanism.
Yeah, he had a little chisel and a little hammer, and he's simply just removing the entire lock.
Okay, you open up the chest, and like I say, it's quite a large chest, as you rightly say. Inside, you can see what appears to be a number of pieces of jewellery made out of various different materials, jade, bronze. You can even see a necklace made out of coral. As you're sort of looking through all of that, you realise that what you first took to be a necklace isn't actually a necklace. As you sort of dig, stuff's piled in on top of each other. As you dig it out, you see there's actually what appears to be a suit of armour in there, but rather than being made out of metal, it almost looks as though it's been grown out of coral, and it has seashells studded in with it. There's also what looks to be a large broadsword made out of a dark grey metal.
Okay, I'm gonna put everything in my other thieving bag.
Okay, no problems. So
I'm gonna note down a broadsword, some jewellery, and Atlantean armor.
So as you're looking through, you find a jade bracelet, what appears to be a bronze earring, a platinum pendant, a small ring with some more of this coral mounted on it, two combs, one made of pewter, one made of copper, a couple of braces, one made of silver and one of a shiny metal you think is electrum. And as you're sort of moving your way through, you suddenly find this small silver crown that appears, despite everything else, looks a little bit tarnished and a little bit aged. But as you're looking at this crown, it's not of a metal that you're familiar with, but it feels strangely cold to the touch, and there's a barely sensible sort of almost like vibration running through the metal as you hold it.
Okay, well, he will put it into his thieving bag.
Okay, no problem.
And call out that he found an Atlantean armor. Too bad he's trapped, huh?
Well, we'll see about that. So, John, this has taken a while, I presume.
Indeed, and as you've been sort of searching the desks, Baru, you've wandered over to the one in the far corner, and as you're looking on the desk, you can see what appears to be a ring that's made out of black metal that has like points of a lighter metal on it, almost like stars, and there's what appears to be a black staff with an animal skull on top of it. Both of them are sort of like lying parallel to each other on the desk that you're now in front of.
Black staff with a skull of some kind.
Yeah, it looks like possibly like a raven's skull or something similar.
It's the staff of heavy metal.
Yeah, this is the black metal corner, which is I'm all about that. So, are these artifacts that I know from before?
You're not sure about the ring. You don't recall seeing that. The staff, however, you remember that. You're not sure exactly how it works, but you remember your previous master used to often carry it with him. It had made some veiled references to the fact that it like bolstered his potency in the eldritch art, but obviously you wouldn't have gone into any details with you about it.
Okay. I will gather the staff to take with me, and I'll take one of the papers that have been crossed over, and I'll like wrap the ring in the paper, put it away.
Absolutely fine.
Has he crossed over everything here? Like, is this like the place for discarded concepts?
Indeed, it does look as though this was your older master Gul Garak's workroom, and pretty much everything here appears to have sort of like ciphered notes written next to it or be crossed over. You also suspect, because obviously he pretty much used to work all the time because he's obsessed with gaining eldritch power and sorcerer's might for himself, that he obviously slept here and worked here.
Yeah.
As to what actually happened to him eventually, you can only really guess based on the skeleton lying beside the bed.
Speaking of which, I will. If I've just gone through these five tables here, and concluded that it's his notes that he apparently discarded, I will proceed to the skeleton.
Okay, not a problem. You look at the skeleton. It's about the same size, like height-wise, that you remember Gul Garak being when you were here previously. The flesh has long since rotted off of the bones, and it looks as though the skeleton fell, as though perhaps like the person was trying to get out of bed when they fell. You know, this is like a thick coating of dust on it that's obviously lain here for quite some time.
I will. I'll turn to Aeger and say, did you find anything useful that we could use to perhaps a magical trinket of some kind that we could use downstairs?
I don't know. I opened the looting sack.
Okay, so Aeger opens his sack. You see all the various jewellery as previously described, and this strange metal crown in there that you would have remembered seeing Gul Garak wear, although you're not aware of any specific powers or abilities it had. You could also obviously see the coral armour as well.
And a badass broadsword.
I will fish out the crown.
Okay. As you take it again, you feel this like almost like slight vibration running through the metal as you hold it. It feels chill to the touch.
I will I will motion for Aeger to stand back a bit, and I'll lay down the staff, the ring, and the crown on the bed, and I will cast a spell on them. Just like pass my hand very slowly over all of these various items, and I will cast detect magic to see like which one of them
Okay.
starts radiating eldritch power.
Okay, so as you're sort of looking over this, your vision blurs slightly for a few moments as the spell takes effect. As you're looking at all of these items, you can see that the broadsword, the ring with the star pattern on it, the staff, unsurprisingly enough, and also the crown all have this aura of ambient magical energy surrounding them. The aura is particularly strong around the crown, and as you sort of look on it, you can almost hear these faint voices like screaming or howling.
This is with the crown.
Yes.
Okay then.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna liberate the skull from the skeleton.
as I finish, I'm like, oh, I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that for my second spell.
That's fine. As you you turn to like Aeger's like getting his like knife ready to like cut the skull off this body, which there's no resistance. It's just a bag of bones. You pick it up and you're like, when Baru's like, actually, I'm going to need that.
I will
just freeing it from its spinal. I mean, are you sure you wanna? I mean, don't you wanna keep it as a souvenir?
Yes, but I will speak to it first. Put it on the bed.
Oh, I'll go get like a little stool or a chair and put the skull on instead.
On the footstool.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Okay. So like, let's rebag the things. If you don't mind, Aeger, I will hold on to the crown. It might be useful downstairs.
Sure. I'll rebag it.
Yep. So I'll grab the ring, the staff, and the crown. Put it like away for the minute, and I will, like, we have the skull on the footstool, and I will cast Speak with the Dead on this skull. So this allows me to converse with a dead man or quasi-man, providing they speak or spoke the same language. I presume if this is my master, I will be able to speak with it, but we'll find out. The spell can be cast on an incomplete corpse or a skeleton as long as the skull remains. Cool. And I can ask 3 direct questions, neither ambiguous or multi-part questions, and then the deceased will answer, rasping its reply in a fashion and degree of truthfulness as best determined by the referee.
Okay, splendid.
Cool.
So you cast your spell on the skull, and what question do you ask first?
Were you Gul Garak?
Okay, so you do hear a voice respond, which I shall do shortly. However, the voice comes not from the skull upon which you have cast the spell, but it actually comes from the crown. The voice rasps out, I am Gul Garak.
Aeger, be ready to like smack the skull. if I lower my hand, please just smash the skull.
All right. He gets out his flail.
Yeah, I'll just keep my hand up and like look between the skull and the crown. How can I banish? Did the creature downstairs say that it's the Chamberlain? Like, did it identify itself?
Yes, yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll ask, how can I banish the Chamberlain?
The Chamberlain is bound by the circle, drawn in the chamber.
Did you complete the flesh golem?
Alas, no.
And then silence, because that the spell ends.
That's the 5 cover you owe me, you cheap bastard.
Okay, so I'll just fetch the skull and put it in the skull bag.
I assume it's only Baru who heard this.
Yeah.
So It's a waste.
It is fine. I think we have a good chance of easily getting rid of the Chamberlain downstairs. Let's go, and I'll just grab everything, the skull included, and.
I mean, the question is, we're kind of rich now, right?
Well, we will be once we get out.
Well, I guess. You've grown attached to the Bearman and the Lantern.
Well,
okay. Sorry, go ahead, dude.
No, I think there's just like an actual pause of Baru just contemplating like, what are my reasons for like going downstairs to mess with the Chamberlain if I could get away, and he comes up with different answers than the ones he actually chooses to speak aloud. Like, well, I would certainly like their help in getting away.
Okay, so as the two of you are pondering that, we're going to cut across to the floor below where Guntok and Zonzo are enjoying themselves in the misty domain of the Chamberlain. Can both of you please roll me a d6? You need a 1 or a 2 to succeed.
D6.
Okay, that's fine. You
What was the
guys,
difficulty again?
you need a 1 or a 2 to succeed. Okay, so you guys carry on getting giggity with it
Getting
downstairs. Enjoying all that the misty fun times.
We're enjoying misty
that are
fun
occurring.
time. That's all that be said about it.
Indeed, we'll draw a veil over the specifics of what's going on, but suffice to say you're all enjoying it. Can the two of you please make me a death save?
Oh, damn!
They do call it the little death.
Come on now.
I was going to say, can I have a game where I don't have to make
I've just rolled. Okay, let someone else roll first, John. Don't let us hog all the rolls.
No, we're all playing upstairs.
Is it a D6? Sorry, what was it? What's the death save?
It's a death save. It's on your character sheet.
Oh, right.
Now clicking it. Yay!
I don't want to click it.
I haven't sexed it.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm sure I have a monk power where I just like get past death saves.
Yeah, you don't have to roll death saves.
Yeah,
That's more-
some-
yeah. It's
Okay.
unusual.
Guntok only. Can you please roll me 3d6?
9.
Okay. That's grand. Thank you very much. So, as you're enjoying yourself downstairs, Guntok, gradually you start to feel this creeping sort of sense of foreboding and like something's not entirely right. And the sort of oddness of this situation starts to reassert itself on you. Your mind sort of rebelling against the sorcery that has obviously gripped a hold of your loins. The mist appears to part for a few moments as you're sort of shaking off this influence. You've taken 9 hit points of damage.
Oh.
As the mist parts, you see the Chamberlain standing in the centre of the chamber where he was previously, but where you'd expect to see the lower half of him, now the mist has cleared, you actually see a series of pulsating, writhing tentacles emerging from his lower half. Each of these tentacles is wrapped around the rotting, decaying corpses of a human. You sort of shake your head and you look down to where previously you were holding a beautiful maiden, and you find yourself holding this putrefying corpse with one of these blood red tentacles almost manipulating it like a puppet. You look across and you find yourself staring into the lifeless eyes of Zonzo, who is like wrapped up in one of these corpses with a tentacle attached to his own back.
Oh. Well.
Abort mission.
Yeah. Nah, it's spiked staff o'clock, I think. Effectively, it will just be kind of like a sudden realization, and then just like a
Okay, so upstairs, as you two are like thinking, oh, should we go down and rest? What's going on? You suddenly hear like Guntok like howling in rage from like the floor below.
Yep, Aeger. Let's go.
So, I mean, being a necromancer, you can raise that price. In a manner of speaking.
Yeah, yes. With enough time, yes.
Okay, so as you guys come running back down the stairs, you see the scene very much as I've just described it. The mist has parted somewhat, and you can now see the true horror of the Chamberlain's demonic form as he remains stood in the middle of the room, these tentacles forming the lower half of his body, thrashing about. You can see Guntok sort of like pushing this decaying corpse off himself. The lifeless form of Zonzo is enmeshed with another corpse. You can see many of these tentacles running to these putrefying, decaying corpses all around the room. The strange sound of pleasurable moaning has now ceased and has taken on a mournful, dirge-like quality to it, as you see these putrefying corpses still enacting out these carnal displays with each other, controlled and puppeteered by the blood-red tentacles of the Chamberlain. Okay, Aeger, Guntok and Baru, if you'd like to roll me a d6 for your initiative. Okay, so Baru, it's going to be you going first as you're sort of running down the stairs. Aeger's a little bit behind you. You see the scene as I've described. You can see sort of Guntok like rearing back and reaching for his weapon. He's obviously shaken off the influence.
Yeah. Are we doing the different sort of action order thing here? Okay, so I'm casting a spell, but I would also perhaps like to move.
Okay, that is absolutely fine. So for the first phase, because you're moving, you do your move first. So take your move. Well, yeah, half your move.
Yeah, and that is movement 40, so 20.
Indeed, each square is 5 feet, standard.
Yeah, I'll presuming I can like drop down before the stairs seem to end. Like, is there like a rail?
Yeah, there's a rail, but you can easily like hop over it. That's not a problem,
Yeah.
and it's not high enough up to cause any real damage.
Yeah, so I'll hop over the rail, land there, hopefully like on the circle itself, and I will cast a spell, and I will cast the we'll get back to that.
Indeed. Okay, so Guntok, it's you can do half of your move now. Okay, now if you wish to charge, you can do that attack in the first phase. If you're just literally charging in and.
I am indeed.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So make your attack roll. Okay, it's AC 11. Okay, you swing at the Chamberlain, and one of these tentacles emerges out of the mist and just almost like lazily like swats your weapon aside. Okay, so you've rung in, you've swung your spike staff, and this tentacle's like burst out of the mist and just like slapped your weapon aside. Okay, we now go on to the Chamberlain himself. Okay, he is remaining stationary. He's not using any magic or movement in this phase, so we go on to Aeger.
Alrighty. Are you ready for the backstab question?
If you can do a move silently, you can backstab him.
Okay, I'm gonna jump down here, get over behind him, and hang on, I fucked up. I believe that is a success.
Okay, in which case, in the next phase, you will get your backstab damage to your attack. Assuming you hit, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving on to the second phase. And I do apologise for the fact that you're effectively just like pretty much sitting this out, Dave. I do apologise. Okay, we go on to Baru. It's the second phase, so melee, missiles, magic, and the rest of your movement.
Righto. I will cast the Scythe of the Reaper. So this like pitch black void, like a rent in space, appears, limned by this purple glow, shaped like a cruel scythe, and it floats in the air, like next to the Chamberlain, and I can. It's basically from 5e. It's like a what's it called? Like the holy weapon.
Yeah.
Like this floating weapon that like hits on its own. So I don't know if I can hit with it this round. The Scythe of the Reaper strikes with a fight. Yeah, I guess it does. I guess it does strike on the.
Okay, well, first of all, let me tell you that the Chamberlain does have spell resistance. So, what is your caster ability level?
I'm not casting it at it though. I'm summoning the thing. Like, does it
cool.
like dampen?
Yes, it would. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So my casting thing is 5.
Okay.
Right on the money.
Okay, so that will only be doing half damage when it strikes the Chamberlain, but you can still strike with it.
Cool. So it's gonna attack. Well, I'm gonna roll for how many rounds it is first. So it's gonna last 6 rounds. Cool. And then I'm gonna attack with it. So here goes. Oh, I presume that hits. -1.
It most definitely has it. You see the previously serene expression of the Chamberlain sort of turn to one of anger and almost hatred as this scythe cuts into him. Okay, onto Guntok. You've seen this spectral scythe appear and slice into the Chamberlain.
Okay, and this phase is.
Well, you've already done your combat 'cause you charged in. You can take like the rest of your move if you wish to.
No, I am where I want to be. Can I? Who's he facing?
He's sort of spun round to look in the direction where the scythe appeared from as it cut into him. So he's facing more towards Baru now.
Okay, I'll get to there then.
Okay, no problems. Right, so we go on to the NPC's turn. At which point he's going to lash out at each of you with one of these tentacles.
No.
Ready
Do
for
the
that?
tentacles still have the dead people on them when he does this?
Yep.
That's bad. That's freaky.
Oh.
Okay. So the one against Baru, I'm just going to have to look up the what is it? It's a fuck. Okay. Okay, so the tentacle lashes out at you and smashes into the railing just above your head, Baru. A tentacle flails out vaguely in your direction, Aeger, but he's not really seen you at all, so it's just like lashing out. You easily evade it. The one against Guntok.
Ready for my death save.
Okay, that has hit.
Oh.
And you take 8 hit points of damage.
Okay,
Make sure you deduct those and the original 9 from your hit points.
I have done.
Right. I think again, Guntok, you've been like deducting them from your maximum hit points
Oh,
rather than your current. I'm just going to change them over for you.
cheers, mate.
There we go. Okay, so one of these tentacles lashes out, still with this putrefying corpse on the end of it, and just smashes into Guntok's chest. You can see there's like where the bones have caught him, 'cause it's almost just like clubbing him with this decaying corpse. You can see there's like blood leaking out of the cuts all over his body where the bones have pierced his skin. Okay. Next we go on to Aeger. If you want to make that
I
sneak
will
attack.
attempt to sneak attack, yeah. I just have to... well, it's an additional +4, but I assume -1 hits.
It does most certainly hit.
So, since I can't do it on the... I just have to roll 2d6 and add to that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's easy. 11?
Okay, that's grand. So you knock off 11 damage from him. So describe how your attack goes down.
Well, he brings out... well, he has his 2 weapons out, but he attacks with his falcata, which is kind of like this Egyptian-looking sword. And he slides in and he cuts him low, near the... like, almost where the man is still a man, before he becomes a tentacle monster. So he cuts him in the liver or something.
Nice. You hear the Chamberlain howl with this demonic screech of rage as it sort of wheels down, noticing you for the first time, Aeger. Okay. So we move on to the first phase. So it's Baru. So again, half movement. You can do magic if you remain stationary. Obviously, if you charge, you can do combat now.
And ranged would be like later, or
If you don't move, you can do range now. If you move, you have to do it in the second phase.
okay. So now would be like melee as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So I will stay stationary. So I will use my own ranged thing, and then my scythe is already there. So I presume like it can hit in melee because it's in striking distance
Yeah,
of the
pretty much.
Chamberlain. So I will bring out my lasso, my necromancer lasso, and on my lasso the rope. One of the threads is actually silver, as discussed previously, and I will try to lasso this demon because that's what you do when you're a necromancer. You wrangle demons.
Go for it.
Here goes. Oh, well that didn't work. Okay, so I will. For some reason that did nothing. But I will roll a d20 on so, and my fighting ability is 2 and no other bonuses, so
So
14.
Okay, so you would have hit AC 4. That's not enough, unfortunately. So as your lasso like flashes through the air, the Chamberlain with one of his human hands actually reaches out and grabs hold of the rope as it's just about to loop around him.
Cool. I will. I hope it gives it that way. Cool. And then my scythe will attack. AC 2, damage 6.
Okay, the scythe swings towards him, but he actually swings the rope around in the way of it, and your scythe cuts just through the lasso, severing the lariat a bit of it.
9.
Okay, Guntok.
Right, my spiked staff, attack rate is 3 and 2. So does that mean I can get 2 attacks now, or is it?
Yeah, it basically means you can do like 'cause you did 1 attack last round, didn't you?
Yeah.
So that means you can do 2 attacks this round, 1 attack after that, 2 attack the next, etc.
Spot on. Okay, well I will have 2 dirty grey swings at Mr. Chamberlain.
Go for it.
So that's a hit.
Yeah, your first one is a hit, so you're doing 7 damage. And that's also a hit, so you've done him 18 damage in all. Okay.
Damn.
Indeed.
I'm feeling
Okay, however, the Chamberlain is looking extremely injured. You can see this dark ichor leaking out of the wounds that cover his body, and the movement of his tentacles appears more sluggish. However, he's still got some fight left in him, so he's going to again lash out at each of you with one of his tentacles. So the first one against Baru. That's most definitely hit you.
Yeah,
causing a mighty 2 hit points of damage. The tentacles swings down from where it punched into the railing above you, obviously hoping to crush you on the floor. You throw yourself to one side, but the rasping edge of the tentacle catches the left side of your face, scoring several shallow wounds down it as you leap to one side.
and I'll be screaming in my native language. So not the face, not the face.
Okay, the one attacking Aeger. Okay, that is definitely hit.
He's mad now.
Okay, you take 10 hit points of damage. Aeger, as one of these tentacles, smacks you across the face. You feel your head snap back painfully as you're driven back several paces. And finally, the one attacking Guntok. Okay, so what's your AC, Guntok? Okay, a tentacle hits you full on. However, your armour absorbs all of the damage from it, but you hear like cracking and creaking from your armour to the point where you're pretty sure that like it's only just like managed to turn aside that blow, and if it had hit you, that would have probably been like game over for you. You'd have probably been joining Zonzo in his misty grave.
Fair dues.
Okay, so we move on to Aeger.
I'm gonna attempt to hit him with the Falcata and the flail.
Okay, you have hit, so causing 3 damage.
I can see last time I had added my strength bonus to the damage in the combat, which meant it added it twice. So you should subtract 2 from that, so 1.
To be honest, it's fine. We'll just roll with it for now. We'll just remember it in the future. It's not a massive thing, so.
I just noticed it now, so.
Okay, so again, the Chamberlain howls as Aeger continues to score sort of like the death of 1,000 cuts as he's like chopping away at this Chamberlain. Every that tentacle that comes out, Aeger's like fending them off. We then move on to Baru.
I've been casting like mad, so I don't have too much left. So I could do a charge attack now, I guess, or yeah.
But have you already attacked in this round? Did you attack in the first?
No.
In which case, yeah, you can do a charge attack.
Yeah. Because I've just been doing ranged and magic. Yeah, I guess there's there's not much for me to do. So a charge involves what? Sorry, I'm not the worst.
You basically move up to half your move, and then you can attack.
Yeah, cool. So I will charge and I will batter this fool with my quarterstaff.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, 7. Probably not.
Okay, as you swing him, the Chamberlain turns around with a look of utter contempt, spinning round with and he just with his hand slaps your staff out of your hand. It sort of flies across the room and like lands near where you were standing previously. And he sort of rises up, these tentacles writhing on the lower part of his body until he towers above you.
Yep, and then the scythe. It's fail city over here.
The sign that swings at him, but perhaps it's his magic resistance, you're not sure, but it doesn't appear to be finding purchase in the strange sort of slippery demonic tentacles that he's bringing up to defend himself. Okay, Guntok.
Right. Do we still have movement and combat, or is it just now straight?
If you want to, because we're in like phase 1 of this turn, if you want to fight, you have to remain stationary to do it now, or you could do your move and then fight in the next phase.
Could I do a move to buy my wounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll bind my wounds in that case.
Okay, so roll a d3.
Actually, no. I'm Guntok. I'm going to nail him one.
Nice. I like your style.
Yeah. I mean, it does heal your soul if you hurt someone else.
Really, I think, what would a mammoth do? A mammoth's not going to faff around with bandages.
No, it's going to skewer something.
Exactly.
Okay, so you swing, you're using your spiked staff, you swing at him, he actually again grabs your staff with one of his human arms and like pulls you in close to him. His mouth opens wide and you see it stretches impossibly wide. You see these needle-sharp piranha-like teeth in his mouth as he sort of like pulls you close to his face. Like,
I will be just kind of like roaring back at him. Obviously internal. But
that's absolutely fine. Okay, so he's going to attack Aeger and Baru with the tentacles, and he's going to try and bite Guntok. So first of all, against Baru.
guys.
Okay, what's your AC, Baru?
It's 9.
Okay, so you've been hit by a tentacle.
9.
You take 10 hit points of damage.
Oof. Do I go flying?
You do indeed, and I will move you to where you end up.
Because 10 sounds like a lot.
Yeah, this as you're sort of like moving in, this tentacle just like and like slaps you, and you land sort of like just on the threshold of the room, just on the outskirts of the circle.
Yeah.
Obviously, make sure you revenge your HP.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so the one that's against Aeger, that will have a hit. Aeger, you take 10 damage as another tentacle strikes you. And finally, the bite attack on Guntok. Oh, yeah, that
we
hits.
really pissed him off now.
Yeah. This is the second phase of this boss fight.
Okay, so with an impossible show of strength, Guntok, you sort of like wrench yourself free from his grasp, and his teeth only graze your neck, causing you 2 hit points of damage.
Oh, still in the game. Still in the game.
Still good. Still good.
It's good.
I'm just a little bruised, a little bad, and a little broken.
Okay, so Aeger, first phase, it's down to you.
Okay. If I had a flail,
Remember when you said you could just go downstairs and deal
probably
with
not gonna hit with a AC 8 and AC 11.
No, you flail at him, but you're having to dodge to avoid these thrashing tentacles, and you don't manage to land a blow on him. Okay, so going into the second phase, obviously this is where you can take the rest of your movement, or if you're not attacked, you can attack. So Baru, you're sort of like picking yourself up where you've landed.
I will just move.
Okay.
Move away.
Yeah, can we move in this after we attacked?
Yeah, you've still got half your movement left, so...
Okay.
So, as soon as it gets around to your initiative again, you'll be able to like do your other half move.
So for my like last half, I'm gonna be like scrambling, like crab walking away on the floor, just like bleeding from every orifice, and just like spitting blood, and just yelling to you guys like run away, run away.
I'm gonna go up here and hopefully that's out the tentacles reach.
Okay, well, don't forget you don't get to move until your initiative, Dennis. So
Oh, sorry, I thought you said we could move half now.
no, you can move half when it gets to your initiative.
Okay.
Okay, so on the next phase, we're on to Guntok. You're muted.
Double. Hello?
Yep, there we go.
Okay. It is time for the double swing.
No, it's
Don't forget if you've already attacked this. This is still the same round. It's the second phase. So if you've already attacked this round, all you've got is like half your movement.
Oh, okay. So I will just
skedaddle.
no.
Skedaddle. I can fucking bomb the dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so the NPC's already pretty much done all he's going to do. So Aeger, you can now do your half movement if you wish.
Yeah, I do. Away I'll go.
Yeah, you run across the room, leap over the railings onto the stairs. That's absolutely fine. So we move on to the first phase of the next round. So that's going to be Baru first.
Yeah, nuke it.
No, I can't nuke it because there's a mammoth in the room.
It's collateral damage. Go.
Yeah, I'm presuming that Guntok can't take 5d6 damage.
Hey, I can't take a strong breath of wind.
Yeah. So John, is there? If I don't cast a spell now, can I cast it in the latter phase? Cool. So I'll just keep yelling like Guntok, go as I'm fishing out a skull from the skull bag. I'm like, Guntok, get away! And I will just like flatten myself against the like wall and start like doing some preliminary like finger painting with the blood of my face on the skull.
Okay, that's absolutely grand. So you're shouting for Guntok to get out of the way while you're like prepping your skull.
Yeah, and then the scythe will just keep like doing its thing because it's independent of me. So there we go. 1.
So you've hit, causing 6 damage.
Scythe damage, necro damage.
Okay, the Chamberlain is looking in a seriously bad way now. His entire body, a lot of the tentacles have just flopped down uselessly. His entire body is covered in these deep wounds with this black, thick, viscous ichor is leaking out of it. As this spectral side of Baru's continues to hack away at it. We come now on to Guntok. Obviously, you take half your move, Guntok. If you remain stationary, you can do an attack. It's down to you.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, John, does this guy count as a humanoid or an animal?
A humanoid.
Okay, that's fair enough. Worth a try. I will scream at him in a barbarian terms. You will be a sacrifice for Yundi, and I will give him double staff.
Okay, so you swing your double staff at him, sort of overhanded, ready to strike him. And he actually, at the last moment, he just sweeps his hand down. You see his nails lengthen and it cleaves your staff in 2.
Oh! Oh, he cut me deep.
It lifts its head up and looks at you, and you hear this rumbling laughter from between its piranha-like teeth as it says, "Yes, there will be a sacrifice today, but it will not be for Yundi." And then it sort of like juts forward and it's going to try and sink its teeth into you as we go on to the NPCs go.
Well, it saves having to carry one bit of my equipment after done, guys.
Yeah, free inventory space. Oh shit!
I mean, does he have a feature where he goes frenzy when he's under 50% hit points?
You've taken 2 hit points.
Okay. Oh!
Okay, so the Chamberlain sinks its needle-sharp teeth into your neck, its mouth still latched on. You see the blood of Guntok like running down the Chamberlain's chin, and the tentacles writhe around the specs as they fall almost as they're lapping it up off the stone floor of this chamber. Both Guntok and the Chamberlain are looking in a bad way, but Aeger's still got to go this phase.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so I can use my move to drop my weapons and draw my bow, right? I'll shoot my bow at the Chamberlain.
Go for it.
Saying.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Okay, would you like to describe how you dispatch the Chamberlain with 2 of your arrows?
2 arrows flies out and sinks into on each side of his head into the shoulder of like a right shoulder and a left shoulder, sinking deep into him.
The Chamberlain lets out a gasping howl of rage and pain, his body appearing to collapse in on itself as though the process of decay had somehow been vastly sped up. And within a few moments, in front of your eyes, all that remains of the Chamberlain is a pool of reeking, viscous black slime.
Okay.
I would like to shout and scream and stamp on the slime and then probably pass out.
From excitement or pain?
Yes.
Aeger will jump down. Can I find my bowler down there?
Yeah,
I'll pick it up.
That's fine. Okay, so you're stamping on the slime, Guntok. Make me a death save.
Why?
And after that, I'm just gonna throw the skull in and just leave.
Yeah. I'll find some new fools.
Yes!
Okay, you stamp in the slime, and actually you hear a hissing noise from your boot as the sort of acidic slime starts eating away at the sole of your boot. You quickly basically pull your leg out, kick your boot off, and sort of jump back from where the slime is. Your boot lands a few feet away from you, and you watch as it slowly dissolves into a puddle of goo on the floor.
Yeah, effectively, I probably would have stamped on it, done that, and then just kind of stumbled back, and I'm just kind of leaning on the.
Okay, Aeger will just
stairwell.
don't touch anything more, you fool. Just stay.
I've lost a lot of blood.
Baru, ease with the skull.
As you say, Baru, you've lost a lot of blood. Your gaze falls on the lifeless form of Zonzo.
The fuse is still burning in the skull. Okay, I'll drag our Atlantean comrade up here.
Okay.
What's left of him, anyway?
Can I now try and bind my wounds, John, as well?
No, you can only do it once in each combat. And although technically this isn't a combat, it's still part of the same encounter.
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, you've not done it yet? In which case, go for it. My apologies.
Do you wanna stamp on the corpse once before though?
Just for luck?
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna go jogging through those bushes outside when we get there.
Yeah, cool.
It's 1d3, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you do know we need to survive getting out of here too.
Okay, you've regained 1 hit point.
Okay, so
I'm a tender, delicate flower.
if Sonso dropped anything in while he in his tantric death throes, I'm gonna pick that up too. So basically, I'm gonna loot him.
That's
But I will-
fine.
I will drag his corpse with us.
Okay, I'll remove his token, but I'll assume you're dragging the body with you.
Yeah, I'll put him in my inventory.
Okay.
1 Atlantean.
1 previous owner.
Not careful.
Dibs on the skull.
Not with friends.
Yeah, John, is there anything in here that I could use as a staff, even it being a shonky staff?
You could use my staff.
Yeah, I mean, we did find a nice necromantic death.
Okay, as you're having a quick look around the room, Guntalk, the only thing that you could use as staff is potentially the some of like the sort of larger bones of the corpses that you could use as something to lean on. The only other thing you find are there are a few sort of like platters of rotting and decaying like fruit and meat that look distinctly unhealthy.
After my experience with the stamping, I will give them a wide berth. And it's not necessarily as something to stand on; it's more something to fight with.
As you're sort of like looking around, the young Icelander slave girl who's been accompanying you sort of like puts one of your arms over her shoulder to like help you stand.
I'll kind of and it almost look like I'm about to shrug her off and like be like, "No, I don't need it," and I'm like, I will remember this.
Should we leave, Barrow?
John, quick inventory of this southern portion here. Is there anything but like rotten fruit?
There's nothing of particular interest that you find in the chamber.
Righto. I will, as I'm walking back, I will make a point of like walking on the circle and smudging it as much as I can while doing so.
Okay, you start to walk around the circles, and as you do, you notice like you notice what appear to be that some of these bodies that are now just like lying there decaying now that the tentacles have dissolved. You notice that some of them appear to be wearing jewellery.
And probably skulls as well.
Probably gonna loot the dead. I mean, duh. Yeah,
I do worse things to the dead. Okay, so I smudged the circle for like a meter, and then like go picking through the corpses.
Okay.
Aeger will take. I'll take the ring, and Barrow will take. I'll take the skull. I'll take the necklace. I'll take the skull.
Okay, so
They're very efficient.
After searching, you find a silver ring and what appears to be a scepter made of copper. You're just about to finish your searching when you notice sort of like the few like threads of like clothing that are left in the slime that made up the Chamberlain, or what appeared to be sort of like poking out of the folds of his now vacant robes, or what appeared to be two small scrolls with like a black ribbon around them.
Are you writing it down, Johannes?
Yep. Okay, so all of this goes into the bag, and I will offer my quarterstaff to Guntalk to lean on and or smash faces with.
Yeah. Guntalk will just be like, thanks, pretty man.
And that, like, Baru like is like visibly like elated. I think there's like a tear after he turns away because he has like his face is all bruised on one side.
Yeah, and his one eyebrow has been cut through.
Yeah,
It's very bad.
yeah, and well, yeah, I guess like I will go fetch my mangled lariat. And are we going to leave? I don't think there's further experiments in the cellar. Probably it's probably not the huge monstrosity that my master was working on.
Well, I mean, we are really.
I was kind of like,
we are so low on food. I mean, of
Yes,
course,
food is-
we have one less mouth to feed now, but we're really low on food. John,
Well-
could you check his sheet if how many raisins he was carrying?
I will do. Just give me a moment.
At least one snake ration, because that's what we got.
Okay, he was carrying the one snake ration.
Okay, so I have 2 left. No,
Mhm.
3. And he has 1, so that's not a lot. That's 3. So I'll take his snake ration. How many does Guntok have?
Muted.
Snake ration plus 6 days.
Ooh, so that's 7 days. That means we have 11 days of food. So I guess we can make it out. I mean, we are 4, so
I'll be like, Baru,
Mhm.
is there a way out that's not through the maze?
John, is there a way out? Not through the maze.
Not as far as you're aware. You're pretty sure that your master would have had some way that, like, he was unaffected by the obvious magic that sort of bedevils the senses whilst he was in the maze. But as far as you're aware, the maze entirely surrounds the tower.
Mhm.
I mean, if it is, it has to be in the basement. But I
There
don't
could be
think.
caves.
Yeah. I mean, there's no food here. He looks at the lantern.
Yeah, you notice that Aeger's like, he's like carrying the body of the lantern. He's like, oh, there's no food here.
Tuna steaks, anyone?
Sushi time.
Sushi time in the necromantic tower. That sounds like a health risk.
But
Nah.
Guntok looks at Aegon and is like, the sorcerer, what happened?
Old age.
There is no more sorcerer. My master is dead.
Yeah, strangely enough. I guess ironic. The gods
Someone else
apparently have a sense of humor.
All that is left is the wreckage of his life's work, and me, I guess.
Did you wish to take over this tower, Baru? I mean, we obviously have to find a way to deal with the maze.
Yeah, it will take a long time before I can master the magic of this place, and
We build a giant bridge.
we could, or I could tame the garden probably, but
Just touch it.
well,
I'm just seeing a vision of like Barreau like throwing like a net full of skulls like, off the
Yeah.
tower. Like,
yeah, it's just like all the skulls, and just put on your safety glasses, guys.
just outside the wall, there's a young couple on a date, and they just hear an explosion, and the entire place goes up in flames.
It's just a black wave from the horizon, just. I don't think I can necessarily do it right now, and I don't think anyone else will either. So I can return to this place at a later time, presuming we make it out. But we can't eat much in here, and I'm content to leave whatever experiments he had left in the basement for now, given that this Chamberlain, well,
Okay, let's get
almost
out.
killed us.
I will hand a lantern to our Icelandic. I mean, she has to earn her keep.
She's carrying me.
Well, you can walk. I mean, you got a hit point, right?
You can walk with your hit point.
Okay, when you offer the Atlantean to her,
she doesn't look keen. I'm not going to level with you. She doesn't look keen.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like look at her and then just kind of like straighten myself up, notably kind of like wincing and battered to hell, but just kind of like just take the Atlantean and pop him on my shoulders and just like try and kind of grin and grunt through it and carry him myself.
I mean, the least we can do is bring him back to the sea, right?
I liked him.
And Aeger will carry the important stuff, also known as loot.
Okay, so we we cut the scene here as you all head back into the maze. So roll me a d6, Guntok.
Yeah, Guntak. Roll a d6.
Is that how many times I catch myself on the bushes outside?
It's how many people die on this journey.
How many death saves I have to do? 1.
Okay, so your passage back through the maze is fairly speedy. It only takes you like a day to make your way through the maze, and eventually you emerge blinking into the soft mauve and yellow hues of the Zanarkand sunset. You can see the tower behind you, Guntox supported by the slave girl with the Atlantean over his shoulder, Aeger carrying like the big sack of loot, and Baru, you carrying some of the eldritch knowledge of your one-time master as you emerge into this beautiful sunset of Zanarkand. The slave girl looks up at you, Guntok, and she says, what do we do now?
We party. We won. Drink and food.
And as Guntok says that, and you all begin walking back towards the bustling marketplaces of Zanarkand, the city of thieves or of 1,000 delights, that is where we draw a close to this session as you walk into your futures and your next adventure.